Evening, everyone. It's Monday evening around 7:20, and this is your closing comment for Monday the 3rd. It's the first trading day of the new month. We had kind of an interesting day today. It was a split, but it was that way the entire day. And the Dow was up 238 and change, 0.7%, while the Nasdaq was actually down 67 and change, or just under 0.5%. The S&P was up 11 and a half. The Russell was up 11, and the big winner of the day, making a new intraday and closing high, was the Dow Jones Transports, up 271.60, or 1.77%. We had some, by the way, the numbers, the market internals were very strong, 2.2 to 1 up on the NYSE, and even though the NASDAQ was down, it was about 1.4 to 1 to the upside. So interesting. And the first trading day in May saw volume swell a bit. It was just over 4.6 billion shares. We had news this morning. We had the ISM come in at 60.5, which was a big disappointment. The estimate was for 65.3. So it was a big miss there, and it was also a miss versus March's 64.7. We had a bunch of earnings today, and the first one was Estee Lauder, symbol EL, which beat top and bottom, but gave particularly poor guidance going forward. The stock had closed on Friday 313.80, and the high today was only 304.38, and the low 286. The close 288.28, and that was down 25.52, or a shade over 8%. There was also a bunch of news, and later in the day, iRobot had earnings, and it too beat top and bottom. But again, this is the problem when you pull these earnings numbers and the expectations forward. iRobot beat top and bottom, but the stock closed 94.93, down 13.87, or 12.75%. Verizon sold AOL and Yahoo to Apollo Management. Had really no effect on Verizon. They're keeping 10% of the media properties and some stock. It was literally up 11 cents at 57.90. Let's remember that when these two deals were done, when they got AOL and Yahoo separately, the market cap was as high as 300 billion. They received 5 billion for what they sold. Two companies going in opposite directions. Beyond Meat, 126 and change, down 3.8%. And Tyson Foods, 78.5, up 105, or 1.36%, on the news that Tyson is entering the plant-based food business. So that knocked Beyond Meat on its butt a little. This was the weekend of the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting. It was a virtual meeting done out of California. Berkshire B, 279.18, up 4.23, or 1.5%. And Mr. Buffett said that they are seeing substantial inflation. Discovery, I guess we're not quite done selling it. There were a bunch of decent articles about it over the weekend and today, but the stock could not move, closed 36.16, down $1.50 or another 4%. CVS, no special news today, except, that they were having a women's health and wellness program in May, but the stock closed 79, up 3, and it reports tomorrow pre-open. Pfizer also tomorrow pre-open, and after the close we have T-Mobile, Lyft, and Activision Blizzard. We also have tomorrow we have trade balance and factory orders. The big move on the day today in the futures was clearly the metals, although oil was up another dollar, and it's up another dime right now. It's hanging right under that $65 level, looking like it wants to edge higher. The high close was on the 29th, and that was 65.01. Today we closed 64.49, and right now we're trading 64.59. So we're getting awfully close there. At the same time, we had a little bit of action, but also a little bit of a pullback, and that followed through tonight in the Nat Gas. We have no position in the Nat Gas, and in point of fact, I'd like to see it come back in just a little, maybe into this 292 area, currently trading 296.10, and I'd like to go back into the UNG, which is the ETF for Nat Gas. But as I said, the big mover was the gold and the silver. The silver was actually up substantially more on a percentage basis, but no denying the gold coming awfully close to a new closing high. The closing high in here was 1793.10. Today's close 1791.80, and right now we're up another 60 cents, so really not much of anything, but really trying to break out. This red line, which is the 100-day moving average, turned us back 2 weeks ago, and let's see if we can get through that on the upside. On the silver, it's a little bit different chart, which I've really shown. You must be getting tired of seeing it, but it definitely is more upward leaning. And as I mentioned over the weekend and this morning, we have all of the moving averages turning to the upside, and this one is above all the moving averages, and the close today at, let's see, what's this number? 26.96 is a new high, recovery closing high, also higher than we were back here in March. And the high today was a little over 27, let's see, 2711.8, so 2712. And tonight we are up another 2.5 cents, still just under 27. So if we can extend out of here, we actually own the SLV calls, and I believe they closed around 89 cents, which I think was up about 50 cents. Oh, they closed 87, up 51 with a high of 91. One other trade that we made today was Twitter. Twitter has gotten sold down actually pretty hard in the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to see if I can pull it up here. As you can see, it gapped to the downside here on Friday and fell even further today. This is kind of a favorite it came out that Kathy Woods from ARK, bought 1,300,000 shares of the stock, which was about 50, so figure 65 million worth of stock. And then shortly after that, even though it was continuing to fall, it came out that Elliott Management was buying 200 million, so 3 times that. And the stock closed on the day 54.58, down 64, after having traded 52.67. So it looks to me to be a bit of a rebound here. It also came very close to bouncing off the 200-day. And further, it also came right back down to the area of its last important breakout in this neighborhood of about 53, 52 and a half. So we're long some calls. I think we paid between 35 and 47 or 46 cents for the this Friday's 57s, and I think we have a pretty good shot of these things going into the money. And with the volatility in this name, those under 50-cent calls could easily be $1.50. So that's where we are. Okay, everyone. As I said, big day tomorrow, pre-open, CVS, which broke out today ahead of it, and Pfizer. So we'll see how they look. We also have, as I said, Lyft, T-Mobile, and Activision Blizzard after the close. Have a good evening. I'll be back first thing in the morning.